Good morning, boys and girls. Today we are starting a new story, just like Josh Gibson, and we are going to review the vocabulary words for the story today. We are going to look at our usual vocabulary PowerPoint. You will also get a copy of your vocabulary word list. Okay, so we're starting with our vocabulary words, and they are field, cheers, through, sailed, plate, bases, soar, 40s, Louisville Slugger. Okay, first word is field. A field is a piece of land used for some special purpose. So you see a picture of a baseball field here, just like we have a field at Hilltop. That is a field where you can play a game or use it to run around. So a football field, any type of field used for a special purpose, usually outside with grass, is a field. Next word is cheers. Calls out or yells. Okay, so what you're hearing are cheers. And cheers are calling out or yelling loudly to show that you like something. And you see at the bottom of your screen a cheerleader. Usually, with most sports that are played, there are cheerleaders that help them to have some school spirit and some team spirit. And if you remember, we talked about that when we did the story Ronald Morgan, how Ronald Morgan had team spirit. Through. Through is sent something through the air by force of your force of your arm. So you see the football player at the bottom throwing a football. Through is just the past tense version of the verb throw. Sailed. To move smoothly like a ship with sails. Again, we use that word when a ball is hit in the air, specifically a baseball. If it flies up and smoothly sails in the air, that is sailing. And again, this is a past tense verb because in the story you will see it as a past tense verb. So sailed. It is the ball being hit by a bat and gliding through the air very smoothly. Plate. A hard rubber slab that a baseball player stands beside to bat. So when we think of plate, another meaning of the word plate can be a dish that you eat off of. However, in baseball, the word plate is this little hard slab that we see down here at the bottom, and that's where you stand like home plate and you stand to bat. And then there are bases, which are also similar to the plate. Bases, places that are stations or goals in certain games, such as baseball. And again, they all look very similar to the plate. And in the game of baseball, you have home plate, which is where you stand when you start to bat. And then you have three bases: first base, second base, and third base, and then back to home plate. So in baseball, if you are playing the game, you hit the ball, you start running to the bases in order, first, second, and third. And if you make it all the way back around to home plate, that is how you score a run in the game of baseball. And those are the bases. Soar, to fly upward. Again, same thing. When playing baseball, if you hit a ball and it soars up into the sky, it's flying upward into the sky. 40s. 40s are the years between 1940 and 1949. It's a period of 10 years, and that's called a decade. So if you had the 20s between 1920 and 1929, it's the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. And we've done that 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And now we've gotten into the 2000s, and we are in the 2020s this year. But when we talked about the 1900s, they usually named each decade by the number in the tens place. And this story talks about baseball back in the 40s at some point. Louisville Slugger. A Louisville Slugger is a very popular kind of baseball bat. There are all different kinds of baseball bats. This is a popular one named after the town it is made in. Now we have our amazing words: athlete, challenge,